This is going to be a brief part 2. I don't believe this is going to be long. This is very to the point. And this is the more I could talk about that I mentioned in part 1 of Examine Yourself or Yourselves. I looked up the word Coven. C-O-V-E-N, Coven. And the definition, just from a Google search, is this. A coven is a group or assembly of witches. In some contexts, it refers to a gathering of witches, often associated with witchcraft and magical practices. Covens are sometimes depicted meeting at night for ritualistic purposes. The word coven can also refer to a Wiccan group or community. Here's a more detailed look. Meaning, a coven is a group of witches typically associated with witchcraft and related practices. Structure. Covens can vary in size and structure, but some may be led by a high priest or a priestess. Purpose. Covens may gather for rituals, spell casting, and other magical activities, as well for communal support and learning. Wiccan context. In Wicca, covens are common and are often seen as community or religious group, Historical significance. The term coven has a history linked to the idea of witches meeting in secret groups, often 13, according to Wikipedia. And so I'm going to stop there. So this is very significant. Why is it significant? Because these activities are going on in this truth. I'm going to give specific examples of based on what I just read. And again, have your way, Abba Yah. Let your Ruach speak in this hour. Coven, group or assembly of witches. So, going back to Examine Yourselves, part 1, where I explained by the Spirit that when moving in a certain way, I'm trying to be very careful how I term things right now. When moving a certain way, you could be, or the person that's moving wickedly, I should say, can be moving in a spirit of witchcraft, performing witchcraft. So when there are multiple people that have an alliance that are acting in a similar fashion in reference to the wickedness, this kind of thing, it's essentially what it is. They have a coven. Okay? So, in going on here, and there again, it talks about associated with witchcraft and magical practices. Well, we know, we're set apart believers in the way aren't doing magic. But when you move in a certain fashion, when you're working witchcraft, you're performing magic. You're doing magical practices. This part right here was very significant to me. That they are sometimes depicted meeting at night. So bear in mind, these midnight prayer times, be careful. Be careful when y'all are associating with these kind of things. Be careful. Be very careful. I'm not saying we can't, as set apart believers in the way. If it's a call to pray and it may be the midnight hour, I'm not saying that can't take place. But when it's consistently these kind of things, we have to bear these things in mind. We have to be very careful. Like I said in part 1, test the Rawak, test the spirit. But this is how covens move. They do these things ritualistically in the midnight hour. So that stood out to me. Based on some things that I've been exposed to. Let me just say it like that. Some things that I've seen that the Most High Yah has given me understanding on by the Rawak HaKodash. As I looked this up, what stuck out to me, because I'm somewhat of a wordsmith, was, and in fact, this is what took place too when I saw this. When I was looking this up on BibleHub.com, because I thought maybe there was something out there about it, immediately the word covenant was coming up in the search. It wasn't even coven. It was covenant. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow. I was stunned because I didn't even put it together that the prefix or the root is covenant, which would make perfect sense because these who work these spell castings and things of that nature, they're making a covenant. They're just doing it to the God, to the all they serve, which is Ha-Satan. So it's all about covenants, whether it be good covenants through the Most High Yah, or it be evil ones through Ha-Satan. So that was very significant to me. And what also stood out, of course, varying size and structure, but what stood out to me was led by a high priest or priestess. So just like any other group assembly, you have a leader. Ministries have leaders. It's the same principle. This is just how they get down. This is their thing. But the structure doesn't change. And so I'm saying all this to say, again, When you move outside of the Most High, when you come against people, when you lie on people to pit one person against another, the divide and conquer thing, when you do that and you have others that are moving in the same way or a similar fashion, you could very well be operating like this. Yeah, examine yourselves. If y'all have these kind of, if y'all have an assembly, a fellowship, these kind of things, you better examine yourselves to make sure that you're moving according to the Most High Yah in that way. And I'm not saying all, you know I'm not saying that. The first time I had come, I was going to join an assembly, not an assembly, a fellowship. The Most High kept me from that, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm going to be quite honest. A lot of this kind of activity was going on. Sometimes you don't know until you actually are the outsider looking in. And then you see what was taking place. Certain ways of treating people. People can't be edifying to the Most High. Everything has to get vetted and things of that nature. But everybody's supposed to know each other in that group, in that assembly, in that fellowship, and be about the Most High, moving in the fruits of the Rawak. Why do you need to vet anything? Everything has to go through you. It's just too much. It was too much. You can't even fellowship without a complete and utter vetting process. The Most High wasn't in all that. He wasn't. It was worship of self. I. Without actually saying the I. So I'm using that as an example of what I was exposed to initially in this truth. I wasn't as far along in this truth as I am now. But I wasn't a complete and utter newbie. But I really wanted that fellowship. I really wanted to be connected, because that's what I was conditioned in Christianity. It was still that, how the scriptures say, not forsaking yourselves, not to forsake the fellowshipping with one another. I'm paraphrasing. But when the Most High sets you apart, there could be something that He has for you to do. If He is separating you for whatever reason, seek Him. He will let you know in all things. I can't stress it enough, to test the spirit, the Ruach, to make sure that it's of Him. And again, I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone, because this word won't even bother you if it don't apply to you. How did they say? If it don't apply, let it fly. This won't even be a source of conviction. But if it is, you already know. You know what it is. Repent. Turn from your wicked ways. Praise be to the Most High Yah. I believe that is all that I have. I just wanted to give that a brief, like I said, a brief part 2. Most of the scriptures, I've already posted the scriptures in part 1, because I wanted to make sure that takes place. Like it's not about me speaking these words. The Rawak is speaking in this hour, and it all got to go back to the scripts. So I needed to plug the scriptures in. And so they are available on part 1. And so this right here will still correspond with those scriptures. And if you want to see the definition that I just read, I will have it on my post tab, formerly the community tab, where you can read it out for yourselves. Please feel free to share your thoughts. And until the next time, Yah willing, I love you all. And I want us all. I want to be right. I want to be right in the Most High, is what I'm saying. I want to have the right heart posture. I don't want to be turned away. I don't want to do anything outside of Abba Yah's will. And I pray that that be the same for y'all. So please, I love y'all. I want us all to make it. Please heed this word. Shalom and shalom.